He's been up since 2 in the morning, and now he won't even open his eyes properly. Is that normal?
That's something I need to ask you about in more detail. Is he responding when you call his name?
Welcome to Medical Voices. I'm Nadia.
And I'm Tom. Good to have you back, Med Nomads.
Quick reminder, everything here is for language learning. We love clinical English, but we are not giving medical advice.
Episode 11. Telephone Triage. 9 o'clock at night, the GP surgery is closed. A parent has called NHS 111 about a 4-year-old who isn't responding the way they should. This setting is directly testable in OET speaking across both nurse and doctor profession role plays, and the vocabulary is equally relevant for IELTS healthcare and NMCOSCE preparation.
Last week, we were face-to-face in the consulting room. Tonight, the clinic is closed, and the only contact is a phone call. Now, today we're trying something a little different. Instead of previewing the vocabulary first, we're going to drop you straight into the consultation. Don't worry if you don't catch everything. That's the point. We'll decode it all together straight afterwards.
Notice the gaps. That's where the learning is.
10 new terms. Let's go.
Tonight, I'm on the NHS 111 line. Nadia, you're the parent. It's late, you're worried, your child isn't right.
And you're the clinician on the other end. You've got to work out how serious this is from what you can hear. Let's go.
NHS 111. You're through to the clinical assessment line. My name is Yusuf. Before we begin, can I take a callback number in case we get cut off?
Yes, 0783 591 4242.
0783 591 4242. Thank you. And your name and the name of the person you're calling about?
I'm Emma Clark. I'm calling about my son Jamie. He's 4.
Thank you, Emma. You've come through to the out-of-hours GP service. The surgery is closed right now, but we're here to help. I'll ask you some structured questions and work out what Jamie needs tonight. That's the triage process on this line. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
In your own words, what's been happening with Jamie today?
He's had a temperature since yesterday evening. I gave him something to bring it down this afternoon, and it helped for a while. But he's been really flat all day. Not eating, barely drinking, just lying on the sofa. And tonight, he just doesn't seem like himself.
When you say the temperature started yesterday evening, was that the first sign, or had anything started before that?
He was a bit quiet yesterday morning, but the temperature came on yesterday evening. That's when I really noticed.
And since then, through today, would you say things are getting better, staying the same, or worsening?
Worsening. He felt hotter an hour ago than he did after the medicine this afternoon.
Okay, on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being completely well, 10 being the most unwell you've ever seen him, how would you rate the severity of how he seems right now?
A 7. Maybe 8?
7 or 8. Important, thank you. Has he been drinking anything?
A few sips of water this afternoon. Nothing since about 6.
Any rash visible anywhere on his body?
No, I've checked. Nothing.
Good. Emma, you said Jamie doesn't seem like himself tonight. Is he responding normally when you call his name?
He's been up since 2 in the morning, and now he won't even open his eyes properly. Is that normal?
That's something I need to ask you about in more detail. Is he responding when you call his name?
If I call his name loudly, he turns his head a little, but he won't open his eyes. He's not looking at me. That's not like him.
Okay, Emma, what you're describing, that reduced responsiveness, not reacting to your voice the way he normally would, that is a clinical concern for me. I need to ask you 2 more questions, and then I'm going to tell you what I'd like Jamie to do tonight.
Okay, go ahead.
Is his breathing comfortable? Any noisy breathing? Or is he working hard to breathe?
His breathing seems normal. I've been watching his chest.
And does his neck feel stiff at all? Any resistance if you gently move his chin down?
I didn't want to move him. He's so still.
That's fine. You did the right thing. Emma, the red flags I'm watching for in this call, reduced response to voice, not opening his eyes, those are signs I can't advise home management for. This is not something suitable for self-care at home tonight. My disposition for Jamie is urgent care. I'd like you to take Jamie to your nearest urgent care centre now.
Not A&E.
Urgent care is the right level right now, between your GP and the emergency department, same night assessment. But if before you get there, Jamie becomes completely unresponsive, or a rash appears on his skin, call 999 immediately. That is an escalation to emergency services. For now, urgent care.
Okay, we'll go now.
Good. Call 111 again if anything changes on the way. We'll see the notes from this call. Your comeback criteria: completely unresponsive or a new rash, 999, not urgent care. Clear?
Clear, thank you.
You did the right thing calling. Drive safely. Okay, let's do 3 key exchanges again, a little more slowly this time.
If I call his name loudly, he turns his head a little, but he won't open his eyes. He's not looking at me. That's not like him.
Okay, Emma, what you're describing, that reduced responsiveness, not reacting to your voice the way he normally would, that is a clinical concern for me. I need to ask you 2 more questions, and then I'm going to tell you what I'd like Jamie to do tonight.
Okay, go ahead.
Is his breathing comfortable? Any noisy breathing? Or is he working hard to breathe?
His breathing seems normal. I've been watching his chest.
And does his neck feel stiff at all? Any resistance if you gently move his chin down?
I didn't want to move him. He's so still. Now let's go back and decode the language you just heard. 10 terms, in the order they appeared in the call.
Term 1. Callback number. The first thing the clinician asks for before any questions about Jamie. The number that lets the clinician reconnect if the line drops. Notice it was read back digit by digit to confirm it. Example: can I take a callback number before we begin?
Term 2. Out of hours. The GP cover that runs when the surgery is closed. Evenings, weekends, bank holidays. NHS 111 often connects you directly to this service. Example: you've come through to the out-of-hours GP service.
Term 3. Worsening. The trajectory of a symptom, getting worse, not improving. The clinician offered 3 options: better, the same, or worsening. The parent chose worsening. That single word moved the assessment forward. Example: would you say things have been getting better, staying the same, or worsening?
Term 4. Severity. How serious or intense a symptom is. The 0 to 10 scale is a fast way to rate severity over the phone when there's no visual information. Example: how would you rate the severity of how he seems right now?
Term 5. Responsiveness. Whether a patient reacts to voice or stimulus as expected. The parent said he won't open his eyes. The clinician reformulated: is he responding when you call his name? Same information, clinical frame. Example: that reduced responsiveness, not reacting to your voice the way he normally would.
Term 6. Clinical concern. A symptom or sign that suggests the situation may be more serious. That is a clinical concern for me. Signals a shift from information gathering to clinical decision-making. Example: that reduced responsiveness is a clinical concern for me.
Term 7. Self-care. Managing symptoms at home without attending a clinical setting. Heard here in the negative. Not suitable for self-care at home tonight. That phrase marks the line between manage at home and you need to be seen. Example: this is not something suitable for self-care at home.
Term 8. Disposition. The triage decision. What happens next? Self-care. Urgent care. A&E. 999. The clinician named it directly. My disposition for Jamie is urgent care. Example: my disposition for Jamie is urgent care tonight.
Term 9. Urgent care. The level between GP and the emergency department. Same night walk-in assessment. Example: I'd like you to take Jamie to your nearest urgent care centre now.
Term 10. Escalation. Moving to a higher level of care. Named explicitly in the call, that is an escalation to emergency services. Escalation is a planned clinical decision, not a failure. Example: that would be an escalation to emergency services.
10 terms decoded. Now, let's look at the language moves that made the call work. 5 points from that call. The language that matters for OET speaking, IELTS, and clinical practice. Point 1. Can I take a callback number? And why it comes first. On a telephone triage call, the phone line is the only channel. If it drops mid-assessment, you lose critical information at the worst moment. The callback number is safety protocol, not small talk. In OET speaking, asking for it early signals process awareness, and reading it back digit by digit is part of the protocol. A note for listeners outside the UK. Out-of-hours GP service is a UK term. The equivalent in Australia is Health Direct, 1800 022 222. In Canada, your provincial 811 line. In New Zealand, Healthline on 0800 611 116. In the US, after-hours urgent care centres fill this role. The service name changes, the communication skills do not.
Point 2. Lay language into clinical language. The parent said he won't even open his eyes properly. The clinician did not repeat that. They reformulated it. Is he responding when you call his name? The clinical frame, responsiveness, replaced the lay description. That translation is one of the most directly tested skills in OET speaking. You hear lay language, you reformulate it, you assess it.
Point 3. Communicating the disposition. 3 possible spoken outcomes in telephone triage. This is suitable for self-care at home. I'd like you to attend urgent care tonight. Please call 999 now. What the clinician did not say was, you must go. What they said was, I'd like you to take Jamie to urgent care. A hedged directive, more collaborative and more likely to produce action than a command.
A terminology note. Urgent care is the UK label for the intermediate level between GP and A&E. In the US, the same term is widely used. In Australia and New Zealand, listen for After Hours Medical Centre or Accident and Medical Clinic. In Canada, Urgent Care Clinic is standard. Different labels, same clinical level.
Point 4. Hedged directives. I'd like you to / what I'd recommend is / my advice would be. These mark clinical telephone communication. Collaborative language keeps the caller engaged and more likely to act. A command can produce resistance, especially from a frightened parent at 9 p.m. A recommendation feels like a shared decision, even when urgency is high.
Point 5. The escalation ladder. 4 rungs in spoken clinical English. Self-care at home, urgent care tonight, A&E today, 999 now. Each is communicated differently. You can manage this at home. I'd like Jamie to be seen at urgent care tonight. He needs A&E. Don't wait. Please call 999 immediately. For OET speaking, moving fluently between these 4 registers is exactly what the clinical communication criteria are assessing.
5 points. That's the breakdown. Now we're ready for the quiz, Nadia.
That's right. Quiz time. 3 questions, Tom. Ready?
Ready?
Question 1. The clinician asked the parent to rate Jamie from 0 to 10. What term did they use, and what were they measuring? 5 seconds.
The term was severity. How serious or intense the illness was. The 0 to 10 scale gives the clinician a fast, structured measure of severity over the phone, where there's no visual information. 7 or 8 tells a clinician far more than quite unwell.
Question 2. The clinician said the disposition was urgent care. What is a disposition, and what are the 4 possible dispositions in telephone triage? 5 seconds.
A disposition is the triage decision. What happens next? The 4 are self-care at home, urgent care tonight, A&E today, and 999 immediately. The disposition here was urgent care, the level between GP and emergency services.
Question 3. When did the clinician identify a clinical concern, and what was it? 5 seconds.
The clinical concern was Jamie's reduced responsiveness, not opening his eyes, not reacting normally to voice. The clinician named it explicitly. That is a clinical concern for me. That phrase signals the shift from information gathering to clinical decision-making.
3 questions, 3 answers. The free PDF transcript has all 10 terms, the full call, the language notes, and a sample NHS 111 triage card for language learning only. Link in the description and pinned comment.
One more thing. In this episode, we tried role play first, vocabulary second. Let us know in the comments whether that helped you notice the language gaps or whether you'd prefer the words first. Your answer will shape how we build future episodes. That's episode 11. Emma and Jamie are on their way to urgent care. Next week, we meet the same parent again. Different appointment, very different conversation. Episode 12 is a mental health consultation. See you then, Med Nomads.
See you next week.